First off, I want to give our praises and glory to
Yahawah, Ahchyam, Yahawashi, Ahchyam, Rakalakodash.
The bonus, the elders, the apostles of Great Stone. Shalom to you, brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching His word in sincerity and in truth. Alright, so this is the brother Shapal.
Sure. Yahawah.
Ahchyam.
So, what I like to do a small exaltation, based upon our trust in the Spirit, because whatsoever we do in our everyday life, we're not supposed to leave out the Yahawashi. Alright? And it's a very key thing to trust, in the Spirit of the Lord, because the Spirit is the thing that guides you. You know what I mean? And without trusting in the Lord, it shows you that you lack faith. Now, here is the Lord, the power of heaven, man, leading the way, man, bringing you to this truth and guiding you, and yet still, the Spirit, you have this, you're not sure, right? Or you're not sure about, left or right or whatever, man.
Which is right.
The Spirit that shows you certain things, but you still try to reject it. Another thing I want to speak on, man, it's important to really trust the Spirit of the Lord Yahawashi, because what we do speak of, it happens to all of us. You know what I mean? We're trying to fight the Spirit, we're trying to go against the thing that is more evident that the Spirit that leads us.
Proverbs 3 verse 5, it said, trust in the Lord with all thine heart,
right,
and lean not on thine own understanding.
Right. The scripture says, trust in the Lord, man, with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Another scripture says that the heart or the mind is deceitful, deceitful above all, man. See? And the mind, what governs the mind basically, or this body, you know what I mean, is the lust of the flesh and the lust of the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what governs the spirit is these words, man. Because the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life, man. See? So trust in the words of Yahawashi with the spirit of the Lord Yahawashi, man.
Yeah. Once you start lean on, as the brother say, once you start lean on your own understanding, pure wickedness are going to come out there.
Exactly.
Right? Because as the brother say again, as the scripture say, the flesh lust are the things of the world, and our wickedness. Right. Say, in all thy ways acknowledge him.
Not just some of the ways, man. In all thy ways acknowledge him. And that's why when we get up, we're supposed to acknowledge the Lord. Tower the Yahawashi, sometimes it slips us. We can attest to that. Because we're not these bodies. And things aren't perfect. We aren't perfect. So it slips us sometimes. You're about to eat, give thanks on the Yahawashi. You're about to enter out, Lord's will, carry us out, bring us safe. You know what I mean? Whatever you're about to do, man, Lord's will. And that's acknowledging Yahawashi, man. See, and whenever you do that, as you say, you abide in me and I in you, then the Spirit start to dwell, man, and the Spirit start to guide you. So whatever decision you're going to make in your life, the Spirit is going to show you whenever it's right or wrong, man, through the scriptures. Because if you go against the scripture, whatever the scriptures say, then you go against the Spirit of the Lord, man. See?
And we actually get built in this truth to basically refuse evil. Right? So as soon as we start do something where I'm going on the line of evil, your spirit, not your flesh to the mind, but your spirit catch you up.
Yeah, that's a key thing too. Yeah, your spirit tends to catch you up back whenever you're trying. And that voice where he in the mind where I tell you say, and you can't even quote scriptures on it. You see? Yeah, a little man in the head I tell you say, boy, say, brother, scripture say, woman, yes, adultery, supposed to trust the spirit, man.
Your flesh say, I just look, man, I go. Trust first sign and lost that,
Trust the spirit, man. Trust the spirit. Because the spirit, that's the only thing that not gonna like you, man.
Galatians 4
say, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Right? He said the word is a lamp and a light unto thy feet.
Right. See, so this is how this word comes to shed light. Because we grew up in a society where evil is what is known through the society, man. Evil, we grew up, like as this movie, The Matrix, as Morpheus said, you're born into a prison that you can't feel, you can't touch,
Not
you
taste.
can't taste, nor smell, right? Here. See, so this is the prison where we're born in, man. A prison, a society without the laws of Yahawashi. But now that we're so privileged for the Lord of grace and mercy to bring us back to this truth, you know what I mean? You know, and when we start to learn the laws and statutes, what is right and what is wrong, so we depart from the world. See?
Right, man.
See, so we live our life now more spiritually, or we try to live, you know, more spiritually, man, according to the laws and statutes of the Yahawashi.
Right, man.
Yeah, you can watch the allegory of the cave, right? You get a good example of that. Let me finish the last verse. It's, be not wise in thine own eyes.
Right.
Fear the Lord and
Right.
depart from evil.
Right. Be not wise in thine own eyes, man. Saying, fear the Lord and depart from evil.
That's one of the main things, man. It
Right.
helps you to depart from evil, man.
Right.
Fear the Lord. See? Because each time, hey, you make an attempt, or the flesh make an attempt to push you to do something, see? Every time you remember about Yahawashi, see? Will jack you up or fix you up, man. Hey, what bring that remembrance to you? Because you abide in the Spirit, the Word.
Exactly,
And
man.
the Word bring it back to you. I said the Word said, this has to happen if you do this, man.
Right.
See?
That's
So
why
that
Christ-
keep you on that straight and narrow.
Fear
Each
the
time,
Lord.
man, and fear the Lord, man.
man.
Yeah. Done.
and that's why Christian never will get this.
Gone, this is
Because
right, man.
Christian don't fear the heavenly Father.
They are not they're not taught the fear of the Heavenly Father.
Right.
In them churches where them go. Because them get the teaching that the Lord love everybody. And the Lord will pacify. Pacify for your wrongs you do.
Yeah.
See? See? And him not gonna do nothing like that. So even when some destruction come upon people, them say, no, not the God what them believe in and all that. God, that's what them taught. Them taught by the precepts of men. See? So, this is Galatians 5 and verse 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Right. Key to the point, to the lesson we're trying
Done.
to bring out to you, brothers, man. Walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, man.
Yeah.
That's why the scripture says we're supposed to be occupied in this word.
Done.
Alright? Look, there's a lot of distraction out there, man. You have women, one of the biggest.
And what are the biggest destruction?
The lust of these are the world, man. Friends and cars, money, all of these things, man. See? But as long as we abide, Yahawashi now shy, you know what I mean, we're not going to really give heed to the lust of the flesh, man.
Hey,
God's will.
as I mentioned about women, even the apostles, when I bring it out already, they said, boy, basically, if you can get around these women,
Yeah.
see, you might be a part of the elect. I can tell you, say, that's even one of my biggest trial in the truth, man. Women are one of my biggest trials, man.
The scripture
Yeah.
say, Emmanuel, married seeketh to please him
Good.
wife.
It says for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary,
Right.
the one to the other,
Right.
so that he cannot do the things that he would.
Right. So the flesh want this thing, man, and the spirit want this
that
thing.
God.
See? So whatsoever deep on it, your feet, you know what I mean? I just got to grow up on you, man.
God.
See? So that's why we continue a lot, man, because scripture say, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and everything else shall be added unto you, man. See? So these things are coming like nothing to us, right? Because, through the years we've been trying to mortify the flesh, and we ain't perfect, you know what I mean? But through the Lord, Yahawashi, man, if we keep to the end, all of these things where you're going to give up through the flesh, you're not giving to the flesh, as you said, the woman, the cars, whatever. You know what I mean? The scripture said all of these things are going to be added unto you, man,
Right.
100-fold. See, so right now we're going to seek the Spirit, and continue, Lord's will,
It's a Romans. It's a Romans 8 and verse 5 say, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh,
Right.
but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnal minded is death.
Right. Carnal
But,
mind is death.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Right. See, hey, because all of these things bring death and destruction, man. You know what I mean? All of these things, man, and it's not even all of these things where you have basically is not assurance that it is yours. Everything.
Perfect example for the woman.
Exactly. You see me? And the scripture say they bring death, destruction, man. But to be spiritual minded, you know what I mean? Being priest and everlasting life, man. And that's what we want, man. You know? That's what we want. You know, when I say the flesh now go war, you know, against the spirit, and it's a battle, but we need to fight with the Yahawashi on the outside, because scripture say today
we will push down.
No, I can do all things.
All things.
Yes, like I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah.
Ahchyam.
Yeah.
Verse 7, right? Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahawah, for it is not subject unto the law of Yahawah Yahawashi, neither indeed can be so. Then they that are in this flesh cannot please Yahawah.
Right. Because guess what? All of these carnal things, man, are subjected to the flesh, man. But the laws of Yahawashi now is in our minds, man. Because when we come to the truth and we started to learn the laws and statutes, you know what I mean, we start to have a conscience towards it. You know, we can't do it perfectly, but we start to have a conscience towards it. And that is why when we are going to try to do the wrong, right, to lead over to the fleshly and the worldly side, your conscience hit you, right? And the spirit will show you, say, look, no, this is what the scripture says, man. And that is why, you know what I mean, when you're more spiritual, man, things flow more smoothly, right? Because you dwell in the spirit of Yahawashi, you keep his laws and statutes to the best of your ability, man. And the scripture says when you keep the laws and statutes, it will make you clean unto the Most High. Or, you know, cleanse you from certain ways, man. Not just outside filthiness, but you cleanse you from certain ways, man.
As you can say, brother, the precept say, Psalms 119 and 9. Basically say, how can a young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed to thy word.
Right.
You take heed to the word that even the Father, man. And that's how you're going to wash yourself clean. Right. And make yourself perfect.
Right. And acceptable.
And blameless, you know.
Blameless. Because the Lord, as Pastor Gabar always say, I always love this saying when he said the Lord requires perfection. See, we're not going to be perfect, you know, but we are strive.
We are strive.
And that's why we try to dwell in the spirit. We come out, we do video. I have brothers, a lot of brothers do it too. Come out and do videos daily or whenever the spirit hit them. You know what I mean? If we lift up the name of the Lord, you know, and still try to abstain from certain things.
That's right, man.
We have to cause us to go up. You know what I mean? And try to stay upon the narrow part, man. Because it's easy to fall off.
This is Matthew 6. Matthew 6 verse 24. So no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. Right? He said, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Right?
Alright, so basically the Lord feed us, man. Yes. You know, we're not supposed to take thought for anything, man. And whenever we as brothers can give testimony, we done videos giving testimony, man. Right? The Lord just prepare a way. You know, just out of nowhere, just prepare a way for you go through, man.
This Judges 5 and verse 11 said, they that are delivered from the noise of archers in the place of John Waters.
Right, which represent slavery. You know, years of wood, jars of water. Over the place where we have where we were sent as slave men, which were prophesied in the scripture. Right, so that's a fulfillment of prophecy. And here we are today, continue in our scripture.
As I can say, as you say, we over here in a slavery, we in a land of oppression. We've been oppressed over here.
Right.
And the comfort we have here is the word, man. The word of the Lord, Yahawashi. Nothing else can comfort us here. Nothing else, man.
Everything is but for a moment.
Yeah.
You come sex with the wife,
yeah,
it's but for a moment. You know what I mean? The money and all of that, cars, everything is but for a moment.
This is what makes you enjoy, man, because this is always have your thinking of something to come.
Exactly, man.
Something to come, man. So if you penetrate, yes, they will accept for the kingdom, man.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his village in Israel.
Right.
Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
Right. So basically, that's what we're over here, man, rehearsing the righteous acts of Yahawashi, me shall say, we have to strive for that perfection, man. See, and this is the beginning. This is the beginning of it, because when we join out of the world, we're seen as to the men them outside as righteous, because we're actually righteous men, contrary to the men them with 2/3 of our people and either nation. So that's a step up from where we were. So we're still seeking that perfection to climb that ladder, man. But only when Yahawashi come, we'll get when the script, when the word has been written in our hearts. You know what I mean? Which we not, just say we not have to go to a brother and say, "Oh, know the Lord." You know, then we're gonna be. It's gonna be like a breath of fresh air.
You can. So we over here, we have to just constantly exhort each other, man. Building up each other. Iron sharpeneth iron. So we have to continue to sharpen each other, talk to each other in our spirit. Hey, tell a brother to hold on, man. Hold on, as they have said to you, trust the spirit. Trust the spirit, man. And just let it flow.
Here's a lot. It's just say what the whole I come in the volume of a book that is written of me. And here is the Lord. It's just saying I'm going to send a comforter, which is the Holy Scriptures, man. The Holy Spirit. Yeah. So here's the Lord, man, comforting you and guiding you. You see me? And yet still, you know, really trust or have enough confidence that the power of the universe, right?
Which is right, man.
I'm going to guide you to a safe and direct path, man. Look, that is a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing not to trust in the Lord Yahawashi or pray.
Especially this time,
especially in this time, yeah. We are going to need somebody to trust.
Yes,
exactly, a good point.
Scripture said in the ground waters, man. We have raised the righteous act, which you know, at the last time and judgment. We know say over here now we can keep the laws perfect. See? But guess what? Let me just bring up the final part, Galatians 5:1. It says, but if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. See? So guess what? We're led by the Spirit, man. So guess what? Because we've been led by the Spirit, see? We always have the laws them in our head, and we are trying to keep them and try to maintain them because the Spirit will lead it. But if we just go about everyday life and say, boy, I find excuse to do this or to do that. You know, like how 2/3 we find an excuse to eat pork, or to eat some abominable food, or I'm going to find an excuse to go do adultery or something like that. See? But if you're walking in the Spirit, see? The Spirit will lead you until I say, yo, don't do this or don't do that, because guess what? This is the judgment of the Lord if you do this. See?
Yeah, do this I got.
Yeah.
we are actually princes now, I get ready to be kings, right? When grooming a prince don't do whatsoever and feel like him sit down and study the laws and things, right? When he become a king, he become a good king. Yes, so that with the I do not rehearse the righteous acts for when we go into the kingdom, we be like a breath of fresh air, as the brother said.
And it's Acts 14 and verse 22, so confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we, much through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Right. And as they have put up a thing in a group last night with the Vikings, it's Floki and Ragnar. Floki rests man on his shoulder and you see the caption like whenever demons arise, call on my brother and we will fight them together. You know? And hey, that's the spirit we need for him, man.
Iron shot, man.
Yeah, whenever demons arise, man,
Yeah, man.
you just link up with a brother. That's why I said, we get this topic from, man. You know, our brother came and link up with us, man, and you know, me and him chopping it up and thing, and we are show each other our situation or problems. And man said, look, brother, you know what we learn from all of this? Trust the spirit. Because everything which you have been saying, you know, the spirit that shows the right way, you know.
Can.
You know, so by the time we go against it, I will get knocked on my shoulder and say, brother, you know, said that's the reason why you get knocked. Because here is a situation where you say this happened and you never do that. Which is spirit, if you continue that spirit, this would be the way where you chose,
right.
And then it will not happen to you that way.
Yeah.
See? So as comes we kind of get the demons off and try to get back each other upon a steady mindset.
Which is right, man.
Trust in the spirit of Yahawashi.
Because yes, everything is to test us, man. The trial, man.
Alright.
As you did bring out 1 Corinthians, I'm gonna bring it out. It says 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 13. It says there are no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Right. So whatever we go through, man, it's a common thing. And like, you know, it's a thing where you are going to get over. Because
right,
all of us, at some point in this walk, are going through the same thing.
Which is right, yeah.
Right? It may be just your turn.
And yeah, the whole world are going through the same thing here, but the thing is, we actually acknowledge and say, yo, we're going through it because the Heavenly Father.
Because we we messed up.
Yes,
That is why we're going to
get no punishment.
So that's why we see the punishment that come. The most of we, you know, just tap you upon your shoulder or tap you upon your mouth one time and say, this is the reason why we get cut up for that.
That's why Scripture says we know him that says vengeance belongeth unto me.
Right.
And I will prevent the Lord will judge his people. Because we know him. We know him through the precepts. And we know when the Lord will do, man. As it is the Proverbs 28 and 5, as they always like bring it out, man. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things, man. Just like what Yahawah said, the rest of the world are go through it, but the rest of the world don't know why they are go through it. We know why we are go through it. We know the things that we do are the reason why we are going through this, man. So we had understand the judgment of our power, man. See?
A woman I give about Scripture says, your wife shall be a hard
we first have commit adultery
and then fear the Father, man. But go off. See? And you must show it how it feels when we go off from him. See? So when he make our women go off and we do all kind of different things, and how we feel when it happens. Yes.
That's why we have been punished.
God. It says, it's common to man, but Yahawah is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that he may be able to bear it. Yes.
Right, man. So you say you're not going to be overburdened from the powerful Scripture with what you can't be able to manage. That's why we are here today, man. Because a lot of the temptation we've been through, we overcome, and we're still here. So I don't know we will kill you. But the Lord will make a way. You see me through all of the temptation, the Lord will show you a way, a window. And you might slip through it, but then you're going to end up in another temptation.
And then brought to a lower state.
Right.
Let's bring it out as
so the Scripture say, so you may escape at the last end, man. See, and that's a test and that's a trial. You know what I mean?
Ecclesiastes 1:1, it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. As Scripture said, prepare your soul for temptation, because guess what? This is a trial, this is a test. So when you come to serve the Lord, Yahawashi, He's going to test you, He's going to swear you make out of, man. To prove you, man. See? So nobody feels when a temptation come up on you, the Lord just bring you up on you for just some random reason why it comes. You have to be tested and tried. See?
That's like Job.
Yeah.
So yo, try Job. I see my servant Job. I just saw the Lord say about it, you know.
Yeah.
They say my servant Ahchyam. They see me Yahawah. You know, Yahawah. You know?
Yeah, and the rest of brothers them, man.
Boom. And the rest of brothers.
Can.
Test them and, you know, whatever, man. Boom. You get a test.
Yeah.
You mean some you feel, some you see it coming because but guess what? The thing is, you learn from it, man. That's the key thing, you learn from it. And you can never say you're too experienced. You're gonna go through this test again because guess what? So by the time and when you're really in the middle of the situation, you realize that shit. Because it is now come back the same way how it come.
But actually, at the same test some of the time.
The same test,
but
come from a different angle. You see me say you can never say, oh, alright, I got this.
Yes.
And that is what that cancels out pride.
Yes, it's right, man. That's why humility is a key thing, man. Then he says, set thy heart aright. And how you set your heart aright? Through taking heed to thy words, man. Taking heed to the word of the Lord, Yahawashi, man. So set your mind aright, man. See? By walking in the Spirit.
That's why we always be like, I hope the Heavenly Father carry through this, and not of ourselves be like, yeah, you don't know, say,
worms. Worms are the same. The worms, Jacob.
Yeah. And constantly endure and make that ace in time of trouble. You're going to endure because endure has been a good soldier, man. Yes. Scripture tell you. It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Yep. So when you go down to the last moment, see? When you down to the ground and face you can't, you don't know where you go because guess what? Hey, when you touch rock bottom, you know, the younger way back, the younger way you can move, you know, it's up, you know. See? So you have to constantly endure and cleave unto the Lord, and no matter how much all the hungry come, see? All the car, you know, the time of famine never come, and no matter how the hungry days come, man, trust in the Lord, man. See?
Just say, as any trust in the Lord and what's conformed.
But
that's why you have a scripture I believe in a Psalms where it's I was young and now I'm old, and I've never yet seen the servants of the Lord bake bread.
They bake bread, man.
King David. King David.
Yeah,
this is whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, see, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. See? So whatever is brought upon you, man, see? Because as we've been going through all the temptations that come upon us, and so trust the Spirit, man. Trust the Spirit. Take cheerfully, man. See? Hey, if you suffer for Yahawashi, Yahawashi, safe, man. See? As it says, let none of you suffer as a thief or a murderer, or an evildoer, or a busybody in man's business. See? But suffer, if you suffer for Yahawashi, man.
Right.
See? Right. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Yeah.
See? And being at the furnace of adversity, man. See? Everyday life is adverse, man. We have adverse effect. We take us every day in our life, man. See? So we have to just constantly endure and walk in the Spirit, man. As where the lesson is about, trust the Spirit. Yeah?
We want to scripture there. Galatians, Ephesians, like before you close off, because I quoted. Ephesians 5 and 6, 15, I think.
6 and 15?
Yeah.
6.
5 and 15. 5 and 15.
This is Ephesians. See then that you are circumspectly?
Yeah.
Yes. Ephesians 5 and verse 15 it says, see then that you walk circumspectly,
right,
not as fools, but as wise.
Right. And the scripture say, you're supposed to walk circumspectly. I mean, you're supposed to be aware of your surrounding, not only physically but spiritually aware, man, of your surrounding.
All things spiritual.
Right. Like, that's either spiritual, digital things. Right. And it's not as fools. Because Ecclesiasticus 7 and 28 tells us that the Lord loveth none but him that doeth with wisdom. So you're not supposed to be a fool, man. You're supposed to be wise. And the Yahawashi, Yahawashi.
If it's a man of the Lord, man, and you're walking in the Spirit, nobody now can come confound you and know you can. See?
They never confound Yahawashi.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be in the same Spirit.
Yes.
And perfect example for that to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove.
Right?
Yes.
It says, redeem the time, because the days are evil. It says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is.
Right,
yes, it's a main thing, man.
That's a main point.
Yeah.
Understand what the will of the Lord is, man. Tap into that spiritual the spirituality of Yahawashi, man. And then you will understand what the will of the Lord is, because it's written all over the scripture, man. There is no secret, man. You know? But some of the time it's kind of hard, because a lot of these demons, you know what I mean, plague the mind and the body, and you know what I mean? So that's why we say trust the spirit, because there is a spirit trying to lead you towards salvation, man. The scripture says, are they not all ministering spirits that are sent forth to minister to them that are heirs of salvation? In the book of Hebrews. So you have spirits, a minister, right, which means to render assistance, or in order to help you. So there are spirits trying to help you by, you know what I mean, for open the minds, you know what I mean. And then you have demons on the other end, a plague, man.
And guess what? We know say at the will of the
Lord. Because
everything is the Lord's will, man.
As we go through, it make you stronger, man. It's to try you to make you acceptable, or perfect, or acceptable in the eyes of Yahawashi. Right, so when you take it to the spirit, you understand what the will of the Lord is.
Hey, how you gonna know what is good if you never get evil?
Alright.
How you gonna know what wickedness if you never get if you know what righteousness is if you never know wickedness?
Hey, how you gonna know if you judge a situation if the Lord never put you
in a situation,
man? See, because that I think that we are beginning to become judges, man, in our own right.
That's right, man.
See, so the little things that will happen in our one-away life every day, and among the brotherhood, we're supposed to, the Lord put some uncomfortable situations, you know, some uncomfortable scenarios, you see me, and watch you judge it, man. See, and every time, you know, you make a judgment and you go home and you start to think.
Yeah, you think about it, man.
You know, and then the Lord start opening your mind and scripture start flow, and you start to see where you went wrong and where you did right.
Right, man.
And through that, you know, you do years over and over, them things repeat. You know, you start to get, you know, the spirit, and it molds your character.
Which is right.
You know what I mean? To be a better prince, as I say, we're in training.
Yeah.
Need that.
Training school, man.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Alright, so, you know, what this lesson was edifying, hope brothers find some sort of comfort, you know, the words of Yahawashi, which we've been preaching, you know. So, you know, with that, we want to give our praises, honor, and glory.
Yahawah, Ahchyam, Yahawashi, Ahchyam,
give honors to the elders and apostles of Great Stone. Shalom to you brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. We are most out of this place. Shalom.
Shalom.